Warning, this video mentions topics such as blood, gore, and death. And also there should be a copyright act of 1976 coming up there, so make sure you see that. So yeah. Hello everybody, this is Lord Phantom here. And before I get into my evil agenda for today, I would like for you to subscribe, like, and comment to this video. And today on our creepypasta agenda for today, we are going to be doing Teletubbies dealing with passings. Now, this is a very, very good story. I recommend it. It was written by Rohan Hordern, and he is a good author too. He just has a little bit of a grammar issue, and that's it. So yeah, I'm just going to keep this short and sweet, and I'll see you guys during the reading. I have seen lost freaky trailers of Teletubbies, but this one isn't scary this time. It's sad. You'll need some tissues as I narrate this, so be prepared. It was my 19th birthday. I was opening up my presents and I just got a rare Teletubbies DVD that my mom found. The DVD was called Teletubbies, Kittens, and Other Stories. The cover consisted of the Teletubbies in a green background, with Po being the nearest. The first 4 episodes listed were Kittens, Rebecca's Dogs, Basketball, and Dad's Portrait. The last episode listed was Dealing with Passing. Okay, so it's about someone passing away and someone else needs to get over it, I asked curiously. I felt really interested in this DVD. I thought of watching it, but I didn't have enough time to watch it because I had to go out for my birthday. So it was 4 days after my birthday and I finally got a chance to watch the DVD. The opening was normal. Then it took me to the menu. It consisted of the Teletubbies from the episode Kittens, where they were watching the voice trumpet making meow sounds. I pressed play to watch them from start to finish. The first 4 episodes were good, but the final episode, it was so depressing. Before the episode started, there was a warning. This episode was produced in dedication for the passing of a young Australian Teletubbies fan. And this episode is put on this DVD to promote Teletubbies being pulled off of ABC. The content you are about to see is not for anybody who is easily sensitive. Watch at your own risk. Oh, I'm so sorry for this young Teletubbies fan, I muttered sadly under my breath. The intro was normal. Even the voice trumpet said its regular intro line after the Teletubbies left. Where had the Teletubbies gone? The first segment started. Po came into the shot riding on her scooter and noticed the narrator and walked up to him. "Uh-oh," greeted Po. "One day in Teletubby Land," the narrator began, "Po is playing with her favorite rabbit, Popstar." Just then, a rabbit dressed in a red coat came hopping out of her rabbit burrow. "There she is," the narrator said. Po turned around and gasped when she noticed Popstar. "Po played with Popstar," Po said excitedly. Po stepped onto her scooter and rode it around while Popstar began to follow her. Po slowly rode her scooter in case she would run over Popstar. When Po and Popstar reached the house, the former heard the windmill spin. She then ran out of the shot to find the rest of the Teletubbies. Dipsy was chosen for this TV event. The TV event showed a boy and girl, presumably siblings, waving to the camera slowly. "Hello, hello," the 2 children said in a depressed monotone. The Teletubbies realized the children did not look happy, so they exchanged confused glances. "Come and see," the boy said. It showed a photo of a black and white dog with the girl and boy petting it. "This is our late dog Roger," the girl said. "We really miss him." The boy and girl opened up their door and walked outside. They then came across their dog Roger's grave. "This is where Roger is buried," said the boy. "We can still hear his playful barks in our heads," said the girl, almost crying, shedding tears. The boy put his hand on his sister's shoulder to comfort him. Just then they heard their mother call for them. "Maxwell, Nia, we have a slideshow for you. The kids looked up behind them and noticed their mother and walked back to the house. Okay, kids, it's time for a very important afternoon to remember our beloved pet, Maxwell and Nia's father said. The slideshow started. The many pictures seen throughout the slideshow featured ones like the day the family adopted Roger, the kids playing with Roger holding his dog toys, Roger sleeping with the children and the kids, and Roger sitting on a grassy field. As soon as the slideshow finished, Jack and Nina then embraced and cried. Their parents then joined the embrace, patting them on their backs. I miss Roger, Maxwell cried. Me too, Nina said as well. The kids continued crying until it cut to another scene where they said goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, Maxwell and Nina said gloomily, not crying anymore, but still sad. The Teletubbies said bye-bye back, but sounding sympathetic. The TV event repeated, and once it finished, it cut to the Sun Baby, but she looked like she was about to cry. It then showed the final segment. It started with Po riding her scooter while her favorite rabbit, Popstar, followed her. Uh-oh, Po said, waving to the narrator. One day in Teletubby Land, Po and Popstar were playing together, the narrator stated. Po and Popstar play together, Po giggled. Po then sat down on the grass and petted Popstar. She loved her favorite rabbit very much, and she would never let anything bad happen to her. Uh-oh, Po, called Wawa scream. This got Po's attention and cut to Tinky Winky, Dipsy, and Wawa with their favorite things. Po play with Tinky Winky, Dipsy, and Wawa? Tinky Winky asked. Yes, Po answered. She ran to the other Teletubbies to meet her, leaving Popstar and her scooter behind. Popstar then walked up to Po's scooter and sniffed it. As Po and the others were playing, Dipsy asked her something. Po, Popstar, Po's favorite rabbit? Yes, Popstar, Po's favorite rabbit, Po replied. She and the other Teletubbies then decided to play with each of their favorite things. After about 19 seconds of playing, the Teletubbies heard the unmistakable sound of metal falling and a skull cracking, startling them. The Teletubbies looked off screen and Po gasped loudly. Thus then, it turned into what happened to be the most heartbreaking scene in Teletubbies history. Popstar was laying on the ground, stunned, with Po's scooter handle crushing her head. Popstar, no! Po screamed. The Teletubbies ran up to Popstar and Po moved her scooter away from Popstar. She then picked her up and tried to check if she was okay. Popstar can move one of her paws. She seems to be still alive. Popstar okay? Po asked worryingly. Popstar moved her paw for one more time and finally died. The Teletubbies were shocked. In fact, their faces changed from the regular happy faces to frowns. Popstar, no! Po moaned about to cry. Oh no! Popstar has died, the narrator said, now crying. Popstar died, the Teletubbies replied, sounding the saddest. Po began to shed tears and started crying. Her sobs were very realistic, and I felt really horrible watching this. Wawa choked a couple of sobs while Tinky Winky snuffled, trying not to cry. Dipsy not cry, Dipsy not cry, Dipsy said under his breath, trying not to cry. However, he couldn't hold his tears back. He just sobbed too. Tinky Winky put his hand on his shoulder. It showed a shot of all the Teletubbies sobbing and grieving for Popstar. It cut to the baby son. She looked really depressed as she was crying. It then cut to another scene. This time it showed the Teletubbies standing in front of a tombstone. The tombstone read, "Here lies Popstar, the best rabbit Po ever had. Popstar has gone up to heaven. She went to a better place now," the narrator said, about to cry. The Teletubbies nodded tearfully. Teletubbies will always love Popstar, the narrator said. The Teletubbies always loved Pop Star, Poe said, starting to cry too. And Teletubbies will always love each other very much. The narrator finished, finally crying, "Big hug!" The Teletubbies yelled in tears. The Teletubbies embraced and sobbed very hard. Their sobs sounded very real, as if their actors were depressed. They even began shedding tears, dozens of tears, as they embraced. It then cut to the Sun Baby sobbing. Her cries were heartbreaking to hear. Just then, the Tubby Bye Bye segment played. However, it was entirely sad. All the characters sounded very depressed, and the Sun Baby sobbed the entire time. And throughout the entire segment, depressing piano music played. The Ragdoll and BBC logos were normal, unlike the previous two Lost episodes I saw. And this time, the ABC DVD logo was normal. It then took me back to the DVD menu. I was stunned by this episode and I cried too. I thought of uploading the episode to YouTube, so I recorded it and published it. I had thousands of views, 500 comments, and 1,000 likes. I showed my mom the footage and she was stunned. She even cried for a bit too. My mom allowed me to keep the DVD since the Lost episode wasn't disturbing and sad. The next day I contacted Ragdoll Studios about this and they said, "Dear Gabriel," that's my name, "we are terribly sorry for what you saw. It's kind of hard to explain this to you, but we reassure you that it solves almost all your problems. The truth is, no, we did not make that episode. The last episode that we aired was called Breakfast, and it did not have any sad parts like this one. But there was this one time we had an employee who was secretly suicidal and psychotic. Then one night at about 2 a.m. he snuck into our studio, made the episode and aired it. The next day we have been getting letters, calls, and emails from angry parents saying that their kid has been upset by a Teletubbies episode. We didn't even know what they were talking about, so we checked our security cameras, then found out it was our employee who was named Gerald Martinez. He was then fired from our staff for making this, and we also heard he was charged for murder. He was the one who killed that young Australian Teletubbies fan. He killed the poor fan by chainsawing them, which was very scary for everyone, even us. And the reason why Teletubbies was pulled off of ABC was because children were actually traumatized by Teletubbies. We have been getting many phone calls, letters, and emails from enraged parents about this. We even saw a review saying that Teletubbies was the greatest horror film. So we had to pull it off of ABC or we would get fined and probably shut down for this. We apologize for your upsetting experience on that episode, and we hope this episode solved everything. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Sincerely, the Ragdoll Studios staff. I replied with a thank you after that. If you ever think of someone you lost in your life, this episode I just saw would explain how everybody feels. If you ever think of somebody you lost in your life, this episode I just saw would explain how everyone feels. Poor Teletubbies and poor Pop Star. Rest in peace, little guy. Okay, this story is actually pretty good for a final Teletubbies Creepypasta. I really loved it. So, what do I think about it? It's a very good story. The beginning is good, and this guy gets it for his birthday, which is kind of questionable, but not really questionable. Pop Star is cute in that episode with the red shirt and everything. The TV event is actually memorable because I've been through a couple of losses in the family. And the narrator is relatable. He feels terrible about watching the episode. Yada 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 yada. Oh yeah, there's barely any blood in this story, which is actually surprising because usually Teletubbies creepypastas have more blood in them for some weird reason. And yeah, pretty much that's almost it, but the morning that's very realistic in this one. It's very realistic. And it's very realistic because when Pop Star is killed by the scooter handle on Poe's scooter, she moves her hand at first. Her paw actually, and then dies. Which is a very realistic thing that really probably happens, in actual death. So, yeah, covered the pros actually. I'm pretty sure that there's more pros, but let's move on to the cons. The grammar in this story still is subpar, and here's what I would do, Rohan. Put it in Google Docs or Word, correct the story at first. The next story you do, put it in Google Docs. It'll help you. It won't be perfect, but it'll help you. Okay? Google Docs is your friend, not your enemy. Okay? So yeah, this is, and also, before we move on to the rating, the murderer backstory makes no fucking sense. Like, really, you had to shoehorn that murderer backstory? Why not just have him die from cancer or something? That makes sense. The dog was put down in that TV event because of something external, I guess. So yeah, the murderer backstory should have just been canned immediately. So yeah, and how did that one employee fucking travel from England to Australia just to kill one person? That's fucking impossible. Unless he had super speed like the Flash, I don't see it happening. So yeah. So what am I giving this story? Am I giving it a 10 out of a 10? Or right in the middle? Well, it's actually going to be a 7.5 out of 10 for its great writing and its realism. So yes, that is a great story. So I'll see you guys next time on April 18th where we do my experience with Jack in the Box.